Hello? Here is
Also offers more than just brake service.
conservative talk radio. Okay, there's something seriously wrong with the attitude there that's being distributed at scale. So I'm recording this song, digital music rights free, so that I can make a dance video, whatever. So the punchline in the song at this point in the second verse, Joe's verse, he says, "Call me a blanking freak, and I'll call you by your name." And it's like dot, like, what's your name? And it's he's referring ultimately to, in my opinion, Debbie Harry. Yo, that's just her real name. Blondie's real given name is Deborah Harry, like Dirty Harry, or Dirty Blonde, or it's just a type of blonde hair. When there's a little bit of brunette, it's dirty blonde. And her song, "Call Me," and she says, "Call me, I'll arrive." Who talks like that? Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator. And this, I don't want to show her age. This was before Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator. When he says, "I'll be back," it's like saying, "I'll re-arrive." Now I'm back from outer space, and you still blah blah blah. And that sad look upon your face. Supposed to have the camera. So here's where she says that. Oh, and then Beastie Boys' "She's Crafty" song. I hadn't seen a smile that pretty in a while. So she's like, the character Sweet Tooth from the video game Twisted Metal, ultimately referring to Gary Busey, in my opinion. Check his character, Lars Sumbitch. I can never remember the name of his character. It's something like that. Lars Sumbitch is like the character's name in Black Sheep movie with David Spade and Chris Farley. It's not Lars Sumbitch. It's not Lars either, but it's Drake's a bitch. Drake Savage. Sabich. That's his name. And it's so funny. It's ultimately referring to, oh gosh, I don't want to get into it. You have to see the end of the movie. He's like a disgruntled Vietnam vet. And David Spade's like, "Hey, the war ended 20 years ago, bud." Anyways, because the movie's from the 90s. It's a Saturday Night Live movie. Okay, so anyways. What was I talking about? Oh, I was talking about in the Beastie Boys' "She's Crafty" song. What? I hadn't seen a smile that pretty in a while. I can't think of what rhymes before that, though. I'll arrive. Who talks like... Nobody talks like that. Okay, so anyways, here goes. "Call me a blanking freak, and I'll call you by your name." It's like first time I've called Blondie. I've emailed her at least once with my phone number, and I'll do it again. Insane Clown Posse was holding some kind of a special Twitch show or something, and I posted, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna invite Blondie. First time I invited Blondie to something, give me a break. Okay, so that's it's a very startling introduction of the song. If I'm not mistaken, it was the most disappointed I think I'd ever been. The CD from the late 90s, The Great Malenko. I don't know what to say. It's like the word "okay," kind of like Tony Montana's quoted in this song. He's saying, "Who put this thing together, man?" Or no, he's not saying that. He's saying, "Blank them all." Anyways, I know exactly what point in the song it is. It's right about here. Blank. Like, I would recognize that quote anywhere. That's Tony Montana, Al Pacino himself in the 80s in the movie saying, "Blank them all." And That's why, you know, one of the reasons that I started Montana Music and Video Game Rights Society, man. Like, for instance, on any given song, there's going to be a whole list of music rights societies, man. And whatever. So this was supposed to be quick, and now it's not. So here it goes. Well, there was something I was saying before that. It's not important. Serial slaughtering strangulas. Juggling juggalas. Flapping, and it's this flapping tricep teats freaks. Icy hot, right? Icy hot, like the rubbing solution. Into half. In that you know, in Southwest Voodoo, they go in the ha, like make an H with your arms and an A. In the ha. Abracadabra, boom shaka David. You know, dawn of a new day is mentioned in the third. Joe mentions in the third verse. If it's not this song, it's a different one. That's Violent Joe, and he's back like a vertebrae. And he comes with a hat, and he tipped his hat like this. Desperado movie. Now I'm thinking of Will Smith's Wild Wild West. Wild Wild West. What did you know what? Ding dang, the dish is done. The wishes wish. How the West was won. The Wiki Wild Wild West. Jim West. Desperado. Full throttle. No, you don't want nada. You don't want none of this. Your brother running this. Malenko militia soldier. Look, it's like I told ya. It's like I told ya. They have that in the song. Okay, I can't remember the next verse. Truck full of Vago. Car, not Carn, like Carnival. Or Carnival, video game. Evil is easy to distinguish from holiness, because holiness is hot and evilness is cold. Car full of fat chicks. That's like a gut slapping laugh. Blank you, wicked clowns. We'd like to say what's up to the cobras, slithering snakes of darkness in the eye. Okay. We like to say what's up to the cobras, X-Men, and counts, and everybody with clown CL. Even sets I never heard of. I ain't never heard of ya. Anyways, that's Tupac's Hit 'Em Up song. You know, I don't like to just tell someone I never heard. Like, I never heard of you. You think you're well known. It's like all the hard work I've done in my whole life. No one's ever even said anything bad about me. It's like, come on. Where's the criticism at the very least? I'm just being sarcastic. Blank 'em all, Joe. You wicked clowns were like the Malenko wicked clowns. To say what's up to the cobras, X-Men, and counts. And everybody with clown love, even stuff I never heard of. And that, of course, that's the very basic driving along with or like a steering wheel or like a whatever it's called on a ship that steers a ship, the rudder wheel. Out with the big top, 4 cards down, and 2 more still to drop. Jack.
4 cards down and 2 more still to drop. And when it does, I pack up and
hit the road, Jack.
the road, cause all I want
Don't you come back.
to see your head explode. Don't be an
Pack your bags, Dad.
axe and I'll toss you a dead chicken at a
I suppose that's referring to like a factory farm, like Mike Tyson.
to get a 2-liter with him.
That's a chicken company.
And when the genie says I'm with the show, it's
When the genie says, "On with the show," like hell no.
Hocus Pocus Jokers, great.
Hocus Pocus Joker is a playing card, and Jack is a playing card. So that's what "Hit the Road Jack" means. Ray Charles song. In the house. Southwest. So I'm trying to do the S. So there's no way, like do it whatever, apple shape, pear shape. If I had 2 hands, you can do an S. That's Eazy-E did in Real MF&G's song music video. Of course, the safety dance. I need 2 hands for that. Darkness, come out. Is volume blasted? It ought to be. Yes, it is. Okay, so here, enter Joe number 2 verse. Shazam! Blam!
Shazam! Bam!
Shagalaga Loki. Shaggy the clown back like scoliosis. Here's the Blondie part. Call me a psycho blanking freak, and I'll call you by a name. Debbie Harry, Dirty Blonde.
Call me a psycho schizo, and I call you by your name.
What's your name?
Cause I can give 2 shits.
I can give 2 blanks. I can give 2 freaks and a frig. Okay, that's probably referring to Sweet Tooth Twisted Metal video game character, main character, 1995 single tracks, PlayStation Studios, Santa Monica Studios, Don Jaffe, whatever, the boss. Long time ago, in a land far away named Japan, there was a conceptual PlayStation 1 that was painted white with a red dot to look like a Japanese zero. And Don Jaffe, David Jaffe, designed it. He, of course, made Warhawk, PlayStation 1, Warhawk, PlayStation 3, God of War, PlayStation 2, Kratos game. So there's Abe's Odyssey on PlayStation 1. That was the first. When I traded in my Nintendo Entertainment System at Babbage's Mall, Grapevine Mills, when it had opened in the, I would say 97, late 90s, before Babbage's became GameStop, and their headquarters have always been here, where I'm, my hometown. That's my town, na 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 na, country song. Where I was born, where I was made. Eventually, that's CD Warehouse, whatever. It was like a giant, one of the giant places in the mall. And then there was GameStop next to it. I was one of GameStop's earliest customers. I traded in my Nintendo that I had inherited for a PlayStation 1. And I had Abe's Odyssey video game. One of the best parts about Abe's Odyssey is the Mudokons. It's like this, Clint Eastwood, Soylent Green themed thing about this poor alien workers that are being the ones who don't work hard at the factory are turned into the food that the factory produces, and Abe finds out, and all of a sudden all the security, you know, they're like, look out. I can do most of the voices. He's like, hello, my name is Abe. Yoda, 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 Yoda. Like he says Yoda, Halo. It sounds like Halo, the video game. Microsoft Nextbox. Direct Xbox, I don't want to get into the meaning of it. So Abe's Iliad, right? Like Abraham Lincoln's Iliad versus Kratos' Odyssey. What's, you know, whatever, you know, I've gotten into it. I have the ghillie suit and Iliad video from a few weeks ago. It's not important. So ninja is from the word ninjutsu. It's lesser known. I only discovered it last year showing my real turtle. I was trying to keep him entertained showing Ninja Turtle cartoons at like very slow speed. It was like 0.25 fraction. 25% speed or less, whatever. A quarter. Because he looks like a quarter. He's about the size of a quarter. Anyways. They mentioned ninjutsu. I said, ninjutsu? Did they just make that up? And I looked up on Wikipedia. And apparently it's like one of the quotes from Sun Tzu's book. Sun Tzu. Soon enough, son. The Art of War, where he talks about fighting without fighting. That's what ninjutsu is all about. So I just watched a video yesterday of Benzino, and the guy who had parked his truck in front of his house was like, I don't fight. That was his, you know, threatening remark that Benzino took very personally. And I had no plans on mentioning this. It's that on the Star Report he said, Benzino attacks truck of a man. And it showed a picture of this like blocky looking guy who was buff, that block everything. He looked like a truck, Benzino. And I thought Benzino was the culprit or whatever, the aggressor, whatever you want to call it, his enemy. I don't know what to say, his whatever. There was a dispute. And my first impression of Benzino is this guy, you know, I thought Benzino was the truck of a man, quote unquote, that was being attacked by, I didn't know he was the founder of Source magazine in the 90s. He has, you know, tracks and records going back, you know, big hits. I'd only heard about him. My first impression was, this guy is acting like he's in junior high getting expelled from school in the 1 hour video. I couldn't watch the whole thing. And the more that I research into him, it might just be a defense mechanism. I think many men develop of pretending to be like an adolescent, like state of mind. It's just a defense mechanism. I don't know what to say about it, about what happened with Benzino, man. He's from Boston. So, I don't know, man. That was my first impression. I had the character switched the whole time until I realized, oh, Benzino, this is Benzino. I thought it was the other way around. I thought Benzino was the more darker skinned guy who was in the video. So I don't remember what got me onto that. Voodoo Wizard, I grab you gizzard. I don't know, Southwest Voodoo song is on this album. Jump on the carpet, let's take a spin. I don't know what to say about that. The Magic Carpet Ride. Maybe that's like dancing, like, can I do this one-handed? Jumping back and forth. I can't do it right now. I'll have to do it at some other point. It's difficult to do. Okay, so I was thinking about the word or the file type GIF, and in House of Pain Jump Around song, he says, "When I shoot the GIF, I shoot the kill." And in the music video, he does, you know, "When I shoot the GIF, I shoot the kill." And that was long before GIF was a file type. And then I was thinking about, you know, two of the most, like going farther back, who's the first one to do this? House of Pain was the late 80s. I was born you know, when House of Pain was making Jump Around song and music video from Boston. And then Cypress Hill is a project in New York, but Cypress Hill is also like a little district of Los Angeles. And that's what Don Be Real in their song Insane in the Membrane, or no, How I Could Just, because I got the clearance to run the interference, Clarence. Respect your parents. That's not what he says, but I got a fraction of friction. Okay, so a fraction of friction I've got. Okay, so thinking about initially, friction I've got, that's F-I-G, like G-I-F. And then when I shoot the gift, I shoot the kill. So, I don't know, they literally created this idea of the GIF. And I never called it GIF nor GIF. I called it a GIF, like I would call a JPG a JPG. I don't understand how people call it a JPEG or all these different things. It's like, what? An MP4? What are you going to call an MP4? A MOF? But, that's not funny. That's all.
Buddy's waiting for the show to begin.
Up to the top. Itsy Bitsy Spider. Up to the top by the neck.
Up to the top by the neck and let you go.
And then like a Daryl Strawberry in The Simpsons, like falling down the cyclone of interdimensional hell. I don't know.
Oh,
Try to land in the glass of Vago.
glass of Fago.
You gotta really like. Oof. That's like the oof sound or whatever. Like the Baby Shark song and then the baby oof. Oof. And then like a male, like a man oof. It can be found in my video in GTA 4 when Nico tries to start a riot and the motorcycle gang starts shooting out with the police after he starts fighting with the motorcycle gang and like trips one of them who's running down the street, and then they all start fighting him, and then they accidentally hit each other and start fighting each other, and then the police roll up and pull out their guns and start shooting, and then they pull out their guns and start shooting back, and Nico, I'm just watching this stuff after Nico had started the riot, and then this big SUV like starts to bolt away, but it doesn't want to run over someone, so it bolts backwards. And Nico just happened to be running onto the sidewalk when it like knocks him on his head. His head in slow motion like bursts under the wheel of the car. And I'm like I feel it in my gut. I'm like, oh, like I make the sound. So it's funny. Check it out.
You missed the fucking glass.
You missed the blanking glass, like punching a mirror or like punching through someone's car window. It happened to me once when I was in my early 20s. The last time I think I was ever in a physical fight, I was trying to practice using pickup artistry on some chick at like, I'm not even going to say, it was a diner. And her boyfriend like rolls up later on and he gets so mad that we almost start fighting in Denny's. And then he chases me outside and I like run into my car. But the thing was that I had taken, not a date, but I was just hanging out with some chick and she didn't roll my window back up. So when I got into my fortress of my car, I was like, I'm safe. And then I look at the window, like I locked the door, then I look at my window to the passenger side and she did it. So I like lean over and like start rolling it up as fast as I can to lock the door. And the guy like, he does he reaches back, boom, punches the glass. Like I think he thinks it's gonna break, but it doesn't break. And he's like, oh my hand. That's like this in this song. Like when someone punches a mirror.
Fucking neck and busted your fucking ass.
Handy. Like if you watch the music video, they shift up the sound so it sounds like hand, like it plays backwards. And busted your blanket hand. Oh, my hand. Ooh.
But the G says on with the show. Hocus Pocus Blokes, great.
Great Malenko, okay? I don't want to talk about that. Jordan Peterson was talking about embalming in a couple of his lectures on his live stream yesterday. Yesterday, Jordan Peterson, he started what I call Professor Robert Pattinson's Twilight Lecture series. He has a 24-hour stream on Jordan Peterson, I think it's official and authorized YouTube channel. And I attended 10 hours of college philosophy credit yesterday, helping people, tutoring people, all type of things, helping them apply to Harvard, West Point Academy, they name it. I would say, who wants to be a millionaire? I'll help you apply to Harvard. A Tony Montana quote. That's when, here's the charming of the snake, the Slytherin suck his ass, right? The snake. And here's where it's intentionally silent to try to repeat one of the verses. I usually go with Joe's verse. Shazam! Blam! Shagalaga blinking. Call me a psycho blanking freak, and I'll call you by your name. Clown dog. Southwest Voodoo. One day I'm a freak. Joker dog. Malenko dog. Okay. Flashcards. Right! Like Jordan Peterson in his lecture, instead of saying please clap, some guy asked him a question in his university lecture, and Jordan Peterson gives him like a 5-minute answer. He's like, right? And the guy's just like doesn't say anything.
Rude boy chunky.
Rude boy chunky. So that's like the PlayStation choo sound, and quite a few other things I've found that I can't recall.
Down with the clown. First time we ever went to Mexican town. I remember we couldn't pay the bill. They got hot and
Holy hot mess.
beat us down in the fucking parking lot. So just jump steady and the Mac tag back.
Okay. Spray paint. Tagging ICP. Insane Clown Posse.
CP by the train tracks and then
It was on the dawn of a new day. Jordan name, like Jordan Peterson, when broken down into Chinese symbols, means about dawn. The two symbols of Jordan means about dawn, like dawn of a new day. And my name David in Chinese is two symbols that breaks down into big guard. David means big guard in Chinese. So.
dawn of a new day, magical carpet scribbling down the freeway. Walked in and checked these tent with a food stamp and walked out with a magical lamp. Yeah.
I met Malenko, he gave me 3 wishes. That night, I blanked 3.
Yeah, I met Malenko, he gave me 3 wishes. That night, I fucked 3 fat bitches.
They give a blank with it, forget it. A blank, okay, Face Off reference, Nicolas Cage, John Travolta movie.
Get the fuck with it, forget it. I'll rip your face off and wipe my ass with it. When they
I don't know what to say. I've heard the song so many times, it doesn't affect me.
said so with the show, it's
Hocus Pocus Blokes. Jokas.
Malenko, I'm aboard.
Jokasa, man. Join us in song. It's like a yawn. I can't remember if it's this song or a different one. But it's like he's like the carnival barker, the carnival like salesman on standing on a soapbox, like yelling so much that he starts yawning in the middle of his what he's saying. I can't remember if it's this song or a different one. City to city, village to village, town to town, the show must go on. That's all. It's just instrumental outro right here. Giant ladies, bearded ladies, midget ladies. Clouds of darkness. And underneath them come the clouds. Or come the clowns. Okay, that's all. Here's I think The Riddler is the first album, and The Great Malenko, Below Me is the second one. So that's about 31 minutes for a 4-minute song. Perfect.